Willow Creek Estate sprawled across a quiet corner of suburban America, its tidy rows of ranch-style houses glowing under the summer sun. Each lawn was clipped to perfection, green as a golf course, framed by flower beds that could have been measured with a ruler. The neighborhood centerpiece, a bubbling creek winding through a park, gave it a charm that screamed family-friendly. But don't let the picket fences fool you. Willow Creek was a pressure cooker of petty rules and sharper grudges, where the length of your grass could make you a hero or a villain. And this week, one overgrown lawn was about to set the whole place on fire. On a sweltering Monday morning, Eleanor Pratt marched down Maple Lane, her clipboard a weapon of precision. At 62, Eleanor was the president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, HOA, a role she wore like a crown. Her silver bob was as sharp as her tongue, and her pastel cardigan hid a spine of steel. Every week, she patrolled the neighborhood, enforcing the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, with the zeal of a drill sergeant. A mailbox too rusty, a shrub too wild, a lawn over 6 inches, nothing escaped her. Eleanor didn't just want Willow Creek to look good, she needed it to be flawless, a testament to her legacy. Standards define us, she'd snap at HOA meetings, silencing doubters with a stare. But today, Eleanor's pen froze mid-scribble as she reached house number 22. The lawn, once a model of compliance, was a jungle. Grass shot up 8, maybe 10 inches, swaying like a rebellion against Willow Creek's manicured order. Dandelions dotted the mess, mocking her clipboard. Eleanor's lips pursed. This wasn't a lawn, it was an insult. The offender was Lucas Bennett, a 35-year-old graphic designer who'd moved in 6 months ago. Lucas had a scruffy beard, a penchant for flannel shirts, and a live and let live vibe. After years in a cramped city apartment, he'd bought the house for space, room to sketch, grow veggies, maybe get a dog. He loved Willow Creek's creek and quiet, but the HOA's rulebook? He'd skimmed it, shrugged, and tossed it in a drawer. When his mower broke 2 weeks ago, Lucas let the lawn slide, thinking, it's just grass. He was wrong. Lucas was watering his tomato plants when Eleanor appeared, her shadow falling like a cold front. "Good morning, Mr. Bennett," she said, her voice clipped but polite, like a librarian scolding a loud kid. "Your lawn's in violation of Section 3.1. Grass must be under 6 inches. Lucas wiped sweat from his brow, squinting. "Oh, yeah, my mower's busted. I'll get to it soon." "No big deal, right?" Eleanor's smile didn't reach her eyes. "It's a very big deal. You'll receive a notice today. Fix it within 5 days, or it's a $300 fine." Lucas laughed, thinking it was a joke. $300? For grass? Come on, it's not hurting anyone. "Order hurts no one," Eleanor replied, jotting on her clipboard. "Chaos does." She walked away, leaving Lucas staring at his jungle, wondering if he'd moved to a neighborhood or a cult. The news of Lucas's lawn hit Willow Creek like a gossip grenade. By noon, the HOA's online portal, a cesspool of complaints, lit up with posts. Leading the charge was Dorothy Klein, 70, from number 20. Dorothy, with her cat-eye glasses and endless supply of floral dresses, was Eleanor's right hand and Willow Creek's unofficial spy. She'd lived there 30 years, her memory stuffed with every neighborly sin, from loud parties to unpruned trees. Dorothy saw Lucas's grass as a personal affront, a crack in the neighborhood's armor. She posted a photo of the lawn, captioned, "This is unacceptable. We must act." Her followers, mostly older residents, piled on with angry face emojis. But not everyone clutched their pearls. Ryan Delgado, 42, from number 24, was Willow Creek's resident skeptic. A contractor with a buzz cut and a pickup truck, Ryan had tangled with Eleanor before, usually over his too loud power tools. He thought the HOA was a scam, nickel-and-diming folks for nonsense. When he saw Lucas's lawn, he chuckled, texting him, "Nice meadow, dude." Screw the grass police. Ryan wasn't Team Lucas, but he loved anything that ruffled Eleanor's feathers. Dorothy, never one to let rebellion fester, escalated things. That afternoon, she stuck a neon yellow sign in Lucas's yard, "Lawn violation, comply or pay." She claimed it was, for clarity, but it screamed spite. Lucas yanked it out, fuming. "This is my property," he muttered, tossing the sign in his garage. But Dorothy wasn't done. She emailed Eleanor, "He's defiant. We need a meeting." Eleanor, already drafting Lucas's violation notice, agreed. One lawn could spark anarchy. She'd seen it in 2007 when a weed infestation spread like wildfire. Lucas sat on his couch, the HOA notice glaring from his coffee table. First violation, lawn maintenance demanded a fix by Friday or a $300 fine, with threats of liens if he ignored it. He pictured Eleanor's smug clipboard, Dorothy's sign, and felt his blood boil. He'd moved here for peace, not a lawn dictatorship. His mom's voice rang in his head, "Pick your battles, but don't let bullies win." Was this worth fighting? He wasn't sure, but he wasn't mowing yet. Hoping for sanity, Lucas posted in the HOA portal, "Anyone else think a $300 fine for grass is nuts? Let's talk." The replies were a war zone. Dorothy wrote, "Rules keep us respectable." Others echoed, "Mow it or move out." Ryan chimed in, "HOAs got too much time on their hands, face with tears of joy." But a private message, no sender name, caught Lucas off guard, "Look at Eleanor's lawn before you fight." He frowned. Eleanor's lawn? What did that mean? Across the street, Eleanor sipped tea, planning an emergency HOA meeting for Saturday. Lucas's grass wasn't just a violation, it was a challenge to her reign. She remembered the weed chaos of 2007, she wouldn't let history repeat. But as she locked her office, her phone buzzed with an anonymous text, "Check number 20's records. You're not the only one watching." Number 20, Dorothy's house. Eleanor's tea went cold. Was someone playing games, or was her perfect Willow Creek hiding bigger secrets? The summer heat pressed down on Willow Creek estates, turning the creek into a lazy trickle and the lawns into brittle carpets of green, except at house number 22, where Lucas Bennett's grass waved like a defiant flag, tall enough to hide a small dog. The HOA's $300 fine notice sat crumpled on his kitchen counter, a ticking bomb with a Friday deadline. Across the street, Eleanor Pratt, the HOA president, sharpened her plans for Saturday's emergency meeting, rattled by an anonymous text, "Check number 20's records." Number 20, Dorothy Klein's house, her loyal ally. Ryan Delgado polished his pickup truck, chuckling at the chaos, while a second mystery message to Lucas, "Look at Eleanor's lawn," lingered like a dare. Willow Creek wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a soap opera, and the next act was about to get wild. Lucas leaned against his porch railing, staring at his jungle of a lawn. He'd bought this house for freedom, room to breathe, to grow tomatoes, to live without a landlord's clipboard. Now, his overgrown grass had made him Willow Creek's outlaw. The HOA notice burned in his mind, "Mow by Friday or pay $300, with liens if he dug in his heels." He thought of Dorothy's neon violation sign, now stashed in his garage, and Eleanor's cold stare. That anonymous message, "Look at Eleanor's lawn," nagged at him. Was it a prank, or did the Queen of Rules have her own secrets? Lucas wasn't ready to mow, but he wasn't sure how to fight. He posted again to the HOA portal, "Anyone know why fines are so high? This grass thing's getting crazy." He braced for the storm. Eleanor sat at her dining table, sipping chamomile tea that did nothing to calm her. Lucas's lawn wasn't just a violation, it was a middle finger to her authority. She'd built Willow Creek's perfection over a decade, every blade of grass, every mailbox aligned. If she let Lucas slide, the neighborhood would crumble. She remembered the weed plague of 2007, when one lazy yard sparked a chain reaction. The anonymous text about Dorothy's house, number 20, didn't help. Dorothy was her enforcer, her eyes on every street. Could she have slipped? Eleanor pulled up Dorothy's records, nothing but a minor fence issue years ago. Still, the text felt like a warning. She finalized the meeting agenda: lawn violation at number 22, fines and enforcement. Lucas would comply, or he'd regret it. Dorothy, meanwhile, was on a mission. From her living room, she refreshed the HOA portal, scowling at Lucas's new post. His lawn was a blight, a threat to Willow Creek's prestige. She'd planted that neon sign to shame him, but his defiance, yanking it down, only fueled her fire. Dorothy didn't just want compliance, she wanted victory. She texted her allies, retirees who shared her obsession with order, "We need a strong vote Saturday. No exceptions." But deep down, she worried. Lucas's post was gaining traction, with likes from younger residents. And Ryan? He was trouble. She'd seen him laugh at the sign. Dorothy vowed to watch him closer. Ryan, true to form, wasn't watching, he was scheming. Waxing his truck, he grinned at Lucas's post. The HOA was a racket, and Eleanor was its ringleader. Ryan had dodged fines before, but Lucas's fight felt different, like a chance to stick it to the clipboard brigade. He texted Lucas, "Don't mow yet. Let's have some fun." Before Lucas could reply, Ryan launched a prank. Late Wednesday, he crept to Dorothy's yard and swapped her pristine "welcome" sign with one reading, "free weeds." It was petty, but Ryan laughed imagining her face at dawn. Thursday brought chaos. Dorothy woke to her new sign and shrieked loud enough to wake squirrels. "Vandalism," she cried, snapping photos for Eleanor. She didn't know Ryan was behind it, but she suspected Lucas. "He's out of control," she emailed Eleanor, demanding action. Eleanor, already drafting Lucas's second notice, added "potential property defacement" to the meeting agenda, though she had no proof. The portal erupted, posts about lawn anarchy and HOA bullies. Lucas saw the sign drama and groaned. He hadn't touched Dorothy's yard, but the timing made him look guilty. Ryan's text pinged, "Oops, my bad. Keep fighting." Lucas wasn't sure whether to laugh or scream. Friday's deadline loomed, and Lucas still hadn't mowed. He drove to the community center, curious about that anonymous tip. Eleanor's house wasn't far, number 10, a model of perfection. But as he passed, he noticed something odd: a patch of grass near her mailbox, just over 6 inches, hidden by roses. Was it sloppy mowing or a cover-up? He snapped a photo, heart racing. If Eleanor broke her own rules, he had leverage. Back home, another anonymous message waited: "Bring proof to the meeting. You're not alone." No name, just like before. Lucas felt like a pawn in someone's game, but he was all in now. The Saturday HOA meeting packed the community center with sweaty, restless residents. Eleanor stood at the podium, her silver bob gleaming under fluorescent lights. "Willow Creek is under threat," she began, voice steady but eyes darting. "House number 22's lawn violates Section 3.1. I propose a $300 fine and immediate mowing, plus a review of recent vandalism." She flashed a photo of Lucas's jungle, then Dorothy's "free weeds" sign. The crowd buzzed, some clapped, others muttered. Lucas stood, gripping his phone. "I'm fixing my mower, okay? But $300 for grass is insane. And I didn't touch any signs." He hesitated, then went for it. "Also, I saw Eleanor's lawn, it's not perfect either. Why's she above the rules?" He held up his photo, the tall grass clear. Gasps echoed. Dorothy sputtered, "Lies." A woman in yoga pants called out, "Let's check everyone's yards." Eleanor banged her gavel, face pale. "This is irrelevant." Ryan, slouched in the back, couldn't resist. "If we're measuring grass, how about we measure Eleanor's ego too? Laughter broke out, but so did shouts. The meeting teetered on collapse. Residents argued fines, fairness, even Dorothy's sign. Lucas felt a rush, maybe he'd sparked something bigger. Then Dorothy stood, voice shrill. This is about respect. I've kept this place spotless. She glared at Lucas, then Ryan. Someone's stirring trouble, and I know who. Before Eleanor could restore order, a new disruption hit. Outside, a roar of engines shook the windows. Heads turned as Ryan's pickup truck rolled by, towing a trailer piled with grass clippings. A banner flapped, "Mow this, HOA." The crowd spilled out, some cheering, others filming. Dorothy clutched her phone, livid. Lucas watched, torn between awe and dread. Was Ryan his ally or a wrecking ball? That night, Lucas stared at his lawn, still unmowed. The meeting had ended in chaos, no vote, just yelling. He expected another fine, but his phone buzzed with a new anonymous message, "Look deeper at number 20. Dorothy's not clean." His stomach dropped. Dorothy? The sign queen? Across the street, Eleanor sat in her office, shaken. Lucas's photo had humiliated her, a careless mowing slip, not a crime, but it stung. She pulled Dorothy's records again, spurred by the first anonymous text. A tiny note caught her eye, an unfiled complaint about Dorothy's backyard, dated last year. What was she hiding? The creek in Willow Creek Estates glittered under a late summer moon, its gentle ripples a cruel contrast to the neighborhood's boiling tension. At house number 22, Lucas Bennett's lawn stood prouder than ever, a shaggy rebellion against the HOA's $300 fine and Friday deadline, now expired. Eleanor Pratt, the HOA president, nursed a wound from Saturday's chaotic meeting, where Lucas exposed her own overgrown grass and Ryan Delgado's truck paraded clippings with a taunting banner, "Mow this, HOA." Dorothy Klein fumed over her vandalized sign, her loyalty to Eleanor shaken by an anonymous message hinting at her own secrets, "Look deeper at number 20. Another cryptic note to Lucas, "Bring proof to the meeting," had pushed him to fight, but now, with a second anonymous tip about Dorothy, Willow Creek felt like a chessboard, and the final move was coming. Lucas woke Sunday with his lawn mower still broken and his resolve hardened. The meeting had been a wildfire, his photo of Eleanor's tall grass had cracked her armor, and Ryan's stunt turned neighbors into cheerleaders or enemies. The anonymous message about Dorothy, "Look deeper at number 20, swirled in his head. Dorothy, the sign-planting enforcer, hiding something? Lucas wasn't a sleuth, but he was tired of being the villain. He grabbed his phone and headed to the community center again, hoping the HOA files held answers. If Dorothy was dirty, he'd find it before Monday's rescheduled vote. Eleanor sat in her pristine kitchen, her silver bob drooping slightly. Lucas's accusation had humiliated her, a patch of grass, barely noticeable, but enough to make residents whisper. The anonymous text about Dorothy's house, number 20, gnawed harder. She'd found that old complaint in Dorothy's file, something about an unapproved backyard structure, but hadn't pursued it. Loyalty, she'd thought. Now, she doubted everything. Eleanor needed the vote to crush Lucas's defiance and silence Ryan's pranks. Willow Creek will not fall, she vowed, drafting a new notice, $500 fine for Lucas, effective immediately. But her hands shook. Was someone targeting her inner circle? Dorothy, holed up in her floral curtained den, felt the walls closing in. Lucas's lawn was a plague, but the meeting's chaos, his jab at Eleanor, Ryan's banner, had shaken her faith. She'd backed Eleanor for years, believing rules saved Willow Creek from ruin. The free weeds, sign prank, Ryan's doing, she was sure, had made her a laughingstock. Worse, the portal buzzed with rebels liking Lucas's posts, "Why fines for grass? Live and let live." Dorothy typed a reply, "Standards matter," but deleted it. What if they turned on her? She didn't know about the anonymous messages, but she felt watched, her secrets itching under her skin. Ryan, meanwhile, was having the time of his life. Polishing his truck, he texted Lucas, "Meeting was epic. Ready for round 2? His grass-clipping parade had split the neighborhood, half called him a hero, half wanted him fined. Ryan didn't care about Lucas's lawn, he just loved poking Eleanor's ego. But when he saw a new portal post, an anonymous poll asking, should Eleanor resign? He grinned. Someone else was stirring the pot, and Ryan was happy to fan the flames. Monday night's HOA meeting was a powder keg. The community center overflowed, fans whirring against the heat. Eleanor took the podium, her cardigan a shield. "Tonight, we restore order," she declared. House number 22 faces a $500 fine for lawn non-compliance, and will address recent disruptions. She glared at Lucas, then Ryan. A slide showed Lucas's jungle, now a foot high, next to her new fine notice. The crowd shifted, some nodded, others crossed their arms. Lucas stood, his photo of Eleanor's grass ready. "I'm working on the lawn, but let's talk fairness. Eleanor's yard breaks the same rule, why no fine for her?" He swiped to a new image, one he'd found Sunday, Dorothy's backyard, snapped from an alley, revealing an unapproved shed, its roof peeking over her fence. "And Dorothy's got this shed, never reported. Rules for some, not others." The room exploded, gasps, shouts, phones raised. Dorothy leaped up, glasses slipping. "That's slander," she cried, but her voice cracked. Eleanor froze, her gavel limp. A man in a baseball cap yelled, "Vote out the fines." Another shouted, "Check everyone's yards." Ryan, grinning, tossed in, "How about we ditch the HOA altogether?" Chaos reigned, residents argued, chairs scraped, Eleanor's calls for order drowned out. Then Dorothy, cornered, snapped. "Fine. I built the shed, nobody cared. But Lucas's lawn? It's a disgrace." She turned to Eleanor, desperate. "I sent you that text about my records, to keep you focused on him." The crowd hushed. Eleanor's eyes widened. "You sent the anonymous text?" Dorothy nodded, tears welling. "I wanted to protect us." Lucas seized the moment. "And who sent me tips about Eleanor and Dorothy?" He held up his phone, showing the messages. A woman in the back, mid-50s, quiet till now, stood. "I did," she said. "I'm Linda, number 18. I'm tired of secrets and fines. We're neighbors, not prisoners." Whispers turned to roars, some cheered Linda, others booed Dorothy. Eleanor banged her gavel, voice breaking. "Enough." The meeting collapsed, no vote, just noise. Lucas walked home, his lawn still wild under the stars. He'd won a battle, Eleanor's fine was dead, Dorothy exposed, but he felt uneasy. Linda's confession tied up one knot, but her last message, "You're not alone," hinted at more allies, or schemers. He mowed the next day, borrowing Ryan's mower, but kept Dorothy's shed photo. Just in case. Eleanor resigned Tuesday, citing health concerns. Dorothy went quiet, her portal posts gone. Linda started a petition for fairer rules, gaining signatures fast. Willow Creek buzzed with talk, who'd lead the HOA? Would fines end? Ryan threw a backyard beer night, toasting free grass, but even he wondered, who else had been watching? Lucas, tending his tomatoes, saw a new portal post, anonymous, "Nice lawn." But number 24's next. Number 24, Ryan's house. He shivered. Was the game really over?